All right, take two on our energy update, astrological energy update for today. Y'all, these energies are so profound. We have this interesting combination of the solar energy, the sun, which is our purpose, our focus, our drive, what it is that we're here creating in Cancer, which is a water sign, which is very private, which tends to be very protective. It's a sign that is associated with home and family. And it's a sign that, we tend to want to be more internal. And so I just want to share again, stellarium. We're going to look at the actual sky right now. And so for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And I just wanted to share with you that I follow a type of astrology that's based on the actual sky. And you'd say, well, isn't all astrology based on that? No, actually. Tropical or Western astrology is based on where the stars were 2,000 years ago. And they did not take into effect or account that these celestial bodies, these constellations that we see here, are moving slightly in relation to the Earth. And this is called precession. And due to this slight movement, all the signs have moved slightly back, almost one whole sign. And so that changes where people's sun signs are. So for instance, if you were born on March 21st, you're used to thinking of yourself as an Aries. But if you were to look up at the actual sky at that time, at your time of birth, you would see that the sun was actually in the constellation of Pisces. And so most people are saying that the sun is in Leo right now, which could be very confusing because the sun is actually in the constellation of Cancer. And what is Cancer? Cancer is a water sign. And it's very interesting, this combination, because the sun is all about luminosity and heat. It's a fiery energy. And Cancer is water. It's the home. It's our emotion. It's our family. It's our ancestry. It's our DNA. It's also our homeland. It's our connection to our homeland. It's the connection to our pride in the homeland, right? Uh, in our families, where we come from. And so I wanted to just dive into how interesting of a time this may be, especially in the United States, with this presidential election, and the fact that several planets are actually where they were at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. For instance, we have, let's see, Pluto, and can't see it on this map, but Pluto is in the constellation of Capricorn, right around the tip of the goat's nose. And Capricorn is directly opposite from Cancer. They're polarities. And so right now the sun has been engaged in this polarity to Pluto. So sun in Cancer can be home, family. Sun can be those that are the highest families, like royal families, because the sun is shining and it can denote fame. It can denote famous people. It can denote actors, celebrities, leaders, royalty. And sun in Cancer could be royal families, uh, royal lineages, people who are in authority. Families like the president's family could be really highlighted right now. A lot of light shining on those arenas. In our own lives, it could mean that our families are being highlighted. We're spending more time with our homeland. We might be going home to visit. We might be going to see friends or family. And the person that Cancer is associated with in the family is the mom. And so there could be a lot of mom things coming to light, or the feminine could be brought to light. And what's really interesting with sun in Cancer is that Cancer is actually ruled by the moon. And obviously in astrology, what is the most opposite from the sun is actually the moon. And so having the sun in the sign of the moon is actually very, very interesting and a bit different than uh it's an energy that's not exactly compatible, you might say. And so because of that, it can be streaming all of this light and fire around our emotional energy, which is water. So you might find that your temper, your emotions get a little fired up, you get a little more passionate. There's a little bit of heat around how you are feeling. Okay. And at the same time, as we have the sun in Cancer, we have Venus, the billionaire planet, the feminine energy, and Mercury, the planet of communication, in Leo. And why this is so interesting is because the sun rules Leo. So the sun is the planetary ruler of the sign Leo. And so having the sun be in Cancer means that it's a little bit debilitated. So this Venusian energy that wants to go out there and shine. So what does Leo like to do? It likes to shine. What does the sun like to do? It likes to shine. It likes to be the center. It likes to be on stage. But the sun is in Cancer. The ruler of these signs is in Cancer. And so Cancer is very private. It's very emotional. It's very protective. You know, the symbol for Cancer is the crab. It is the turtle. It's the energies of, wow, we got the sun right behind us. It's the energies of protection and safety and security, which, you know, Leo solar energy is not about that, right? It's about shining. It's about being seen. And so there's a little bit of this push-pull around one wanting to be seen, but also feeling very private, feeling emotional, feeling more internal, which is also being added to by the fact that Chiron, the wounded healer, is currently in Pisces. So let's check this out. Let's look at the chart so I can show you. And this is such an interesting long-term thing that we're going through, which is this Chiron, 33 degrees of Pisces, just having gone retrograde. And I have a video that I posted on my social media about Chiron going retrograde. It happened on July 27th that I have to get up here for you all. And it is powerful energy. And so it is also similar to this sun in Cancer, this sort of deep emotion, you know, and this sun in Cancer is in polarity to Pluto, Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto in Capricorn is where it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so we have this light shining on our relationship to our homeland, our family, in polarity to Pluto. Pluto is hidden things that are buried. And it's the same placement of Pluto as it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And then we have Chiron in Pisces, the sign of spirituality, religion, our connection to our highest self. And that is also in the same sign as it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. As well as Taurus, Mars in Taurus is in the same sign it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So we have all these planets in the same energetic pattern as it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And it's a presidential year. It's a year where there is going to be probably quite a bit of drama on social media and in the mainstream around, you know, people bringing up all the dirt. That can be Pluto and Capricorn. Capricorn is business. It's also government. Pluto is what's hidden, what's buried. Sun opposite that, sun illuminating, especially in Cancer, secrets in the family, secrets in the history, secrets in the ancestry around these candidates, around those in power, around those in government, combined with the fact that we have the wounded healer in Chiron in the same placement as it was at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And what is Chiron? Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is the energetic of our deepest wound, essentially, what is yet to be unhealed. And with Chiron in Pisces, what is Pisces? Pisces is this divine spiritual connection that we have to our higher self, to God, to other realms. Piscean energy is typically very deeply connected to our spiritual tradition, our spiritual connection. It can be related to religion. It can be related to channeling and our psychic abilities. So having Chiron in Pisces all of this year is relating to our connection to our divine purpose, our connection to our divine self, our higher self, the energy of illumination, the energy of spiritual connection. And so where we might be having this come up is around our own spiritual connection. Where this may be coming up on a collective level could be through all this conflict around a religion. And this is really interesting because Chiron is not only in Pisces, which relates to spirituality and religion, but it is currently 2 degrees away from Eris. And what is Eris? Eris is the energy of conflict. Okay, it is an asteroid related to conflict. The story of Eris is that Eris was a goddess who patched up some mischief, and she decided to go to a party that the gods were holding. Wow, look at that light ray coming through. Look at that. So Eris thought of this conflict, and she went to a party where all the gods were hanging out. This is a Greek mythology story. And so she went to this party with a golden apple, right? A sacred golden apple. And she threw it down amidst all the gods and goddesses. And she said, "Who is the most beautiful? Whoever is the most beautiful among you will win this golden apple," right? And so that caused an incredible amount of conflict. And so Eris is the asteroid of conflict, and it is conjunct the asteroid of the wounded healer. And so in Pisces, Pisces is very delicate, it's very compassionate, it's very intuitive. And so to have the energy of conflict next to the energy of the wounded healer means that as we're doing this very deep work to heal our connection to our spiritual higher self, to God, right? We're trying to get more connected. We're trying to tune within. We're trying to heal our psychic abilities. We're trying to unleash our potential as intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient. I mean, if you look across the planet, so many people are awakening to their spiritual gifts. Okay. And yet at the same time, we have this energy of conflict around our greatest sensitivities, around our greatest healing that we're doing individually and collectively. And to me, you know, Eris, the goddess of conflict, could relate to warfare. And having that next to the wounded healer could mean that people are very, very sensitive around their spiritual path, around their religion, around their connection to their religion, and that there is this heated energy around our ability to choose freely our own spiritual connection. And this is very deep energy. If you look at the conflict in the Middle East, it becomes very clear that we are playing out a very old pattern. Eris, the goddess of conflict, and Chiron, the asteroid of the wounded healer in Pisces, our spirituality, our connection to religion, our connection to our higher self. And yet we have the destiny point being what we are collectively as humanity working to live and grow into. We are working to follow our destiny, and our destiny is also in Pisces. And so we have 4 things in the sign of Pisces. And so the lesson of 2024 is about getting into our spiritual connection to source, is in affirming our divine spiritual psychic gifts. It is in reclaiming and taking back our power to choose to own our purpose and why we are here. And so if you have spiritual gifts, and chances are if you're watching my channel and you found me in a needle in a haystack here on YouTube, then you have divine spiritual gifts. And so I can tell you, looking at the astrology with the destiny point, with Chiron, the wounded healer, with Neptune, the god of spirituality, all in Pisces this year, that as much as it is, you know, a presidential election and there's a lot of external energy drawing our attention, The real focus for healing is on our own spiritual connection. And so things like meditation, personal retreat, finding our center, doing art, doing music, going out into nature. We are collectively much more sensitive at this time than many other years in the past, where, you know, the south node or the karmic point, let me show you this. So a lot of people are familiar with what are called the north node and the south node of the moon. They represent they're like destiny points. This light is really amazing. Look at that. And so the north node is this upright looking headphones, and the south node is this upside down headphones. And they represent, the north node represents what we are growing into. What is our purpose as a collective for humanity? What are we working on becoming? What is our lesson that we should be aiming for, that we should be doing and embodying and practicing? And the upside down headphones represent what we're growing away from and what we're leaving behind. Okay. And so we currently have the destiny point of what we're going into in Pisces, which is the energetic of our spiritual connection. It is the energetic of our soul, about really finding our soul, about going within, about, you know, Pisces can relate a lot to rest, rejuvenation, spiritual retreat, taking time to just be. You know, the Piscean energy is really about taking the time to just be with ourselves, to just feel, to just allow, to just, you know, really get into our hearts, really get into what we're being called to do. Whereas the South Node, or what we're moving away from in Virgo, what is Virgo? Virgo is hard work. Virgo is always having to do something in the physical plane. It's always having to be of service and help someone and do something and make stuff happen. It's a very physical reality energy. It's beautiful energy. It's beautiful energy to be of service. However, as a collective, we're being guided away this year, North Node and Pisces, away from overwork, away from giving too much, away from working too hard, which has been the status quo in this country for so many years. And so having the destiny point in Pisces, which is rest, which is rejuvenation, which is meditation, which is taking time to simply be, is really quite phenomenal. Okay, we're moving away from the sort of puritanical work ethic of the US and into spiritual balance, spiritual rejuvenation, spiritual retreat. And, you know, people may laugh at this or say, okay, you know, you're living in fantasy land. But astrology tells us the collective energetic of the soul of humanity at the time. Okay. And so as a soul, as a collective, we are yearning for more rest, more rejuvenation, more balance in our lives so that we're coming from a full cup. Whereas Virgo South Node, that's the past. That's us coming from giving too much, being too much to too many different people, working too hard. And so if you're feeling all the energetics of this time and you're wondering, well, how do I find balance right now? The biggest thing I can suggest is to work on getting more time and space for being, because this year with the presidential election, with Uranus, the planet of change in Taurus, which is our structure, our foundation, things are changing. We are not going to be allowed to rely on the structures and containers and way things have been as our security. And so the best way to find inner security right now is to go within, to ground, to go out into nature, to have a spiritual practice, to trust in something higher, and to really trust in the statement, everything is always working out for my highest and best good. So if you enjoyed this reading, if you'd like to learn more, follow, like, subscribe. My name is Lotus Dawn. This is Blossom with Lotus, and I bring you true to the stars astrological updates to what is actually really happening in the sky right now. I have to give a big up and thank you to this amazing light ray that is coming through and blessing our reading today. And if you would like to book a one-on-one session with me and to dive deeper on your own astrological chart and how the current energetics of the planets are affecting you personally, or you would like to do an ancestral energy clearing session, which is something that I offer to go deep on and to assist us with all the triggering that's coming up right now in the collective, you can find me at blossomwithlotus.com, or you can leave a comment below. I send you so much love. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being part of this Blossom with Lotus family. And I love hearing your comments, your shares, how things are going in your life. It also helps with the algorithm. So please leave your comment, please post, please share. And I look forward to seeing you all soon as we continue to stay updated to what is happening in the sky and how it's creating so many powerful experiences for our growth, our transformation, and our ascension into the light, which is why we are here. So biggest love to you all. Talk to you soon.